Hello everyone, my name's Bottletophornet, and welcome back to the Vault Hunter Diaries. Chapter 2. Standing ready at the portal to the end dimension, it's time to take on the dragon and finally get into the Vault Hunter experience properly. It's always a little nerve-wracking standing here for the first time in a world, unsure if you're prepared enough, but eventually you have to take that step. A decently safe spawn greets us and I dig up to the surface. The first shot is a good sign. Now begins the usual process of taking out the crystals, and then the dragon. Chipping away at them all, one by one, having to pillar up to get the cages as my arrows weren't connecting. We start to wear the dragon down as she flies us around, unable to heal any longer. And, without too much trouble, finish her off. An interesting drop falls, but, unfortunately, the egg spawning in knocks it into the portal and back to our world spawn. So, I grab the egg and decide to head back through the portal to search for it. Quickly sleeping and grabbing our acacia boat, the first one we crafted in this world actually, I try to make my way quickly to where I think the spawn is, but unfortunately the rocky nature of this biome creates a natural maze, and by the time I make it back to the area I spawned in, there is no item to be found. Unfortunate as this is, there is nothing I can do about it now, so I head back to make use of the levels we gained in the dragon fight so they don't go to waste. Once done, I clear out some space, and then head back through the nether to the stronghold once again. Grabbing some stone and ender pearls for the journey, we head over to the gateway to the outer end, prepare for heading through, and, with a stroke of luck, we find a city right where we spawn, and another not too far away in the distance. No ships yet though. At least the shulker boxes will come in handy. Having the map in the end is an incredible tool, and we head over to the next city. Raising the render distance allows the map to render in some more, but nothing shows up on the outer edges, so I go about raiding this city as well. After gathering all I could, I head over to the base of an interesting structure to check out another new block. Once again, collecting a little supply to potentially use in the future, before moving on again in search of a city with a ship. Another city emerges in the distance, once again without a ship, but just as I arrive there, the map shows what I'm looking for. Still, may as well raid this city first. Hilariously, I get the suit up achievement for iron armor while wearing diamond armor. Okay. Moving on, we find what may be the smallest possible city/ship combo, but I'm excited to get this elytra, and we're able to use the dash ability to search the end. Making sure to grab the health potions for future use, we grab some good loot, and finally our wings. Gaining some height, we quickly apply the enchanted books to them and clear the inventory before taking flight. And oh, it feels good to be back in the sky. Now, with the ability to travel the end quickly, I start the rest of my journey to explore, loot, and grab what I need from the end. Or so I thought. I forgot how weak the armor is in this pack, and also that I wasn't wearing a chestplate anymore. And an Enderman encounter leaves us, unfortunately, dead. And I took my only ender chest with me. Mistakes were made. Grabbing a pearl from my cleric and some spare obsidian, I soon realize I have no spare blaze powder. So, a risky run to the nether fortress is underway. Following the path I had taken the first time, it thankfully doesn't take too long to find my way there. A risky ender pearl throw to bypass the wither skeletons, and some careful blaze slaughter later, we have what we need. And almost died trying to get out. Oh, I also don't have a crafting table. Running all the way back to near my portal, I find some crimson wood and make up what I need to gain access to the ender chest, where thankfully I had stored a second elytra we found. And grabbing a silk touch pick we looted, we're back on track. Very conscious of the lack of enchantments on these wings, I make a beeline for that death marker. And there he is. What a dummy. Good. Finding one more big city, I loot it for all it's got, and we're back. Once I felt like I had everything we needed, I stopped for some interesting black blocks, and then eventually find a portal to take us back home. With our looting run done and plenty of stuff to our name, a little organization was done, and now we can look forward to the vaults. Searching up the recipe for a vault altar, I make the required ingredients, and there it is. This is where the fun begins. I head down to our ore chest in the mines and grab the vault rock ore that we found previously, before rushing up top to get this journey started. Taking the altar over to our main base location, I set it down in the center and place out our vault rock ore. Fortune 3 does fairly well, and we managed to gain 12 rocks from the ore. Let's see what this altar has in store for us. Not bad. Although, at this stage, the cakes are our enemy. I put the remaining vault rocks away safely in our ender chest, and quickly add looting 3 to my sword to head out in search for some pigs. And without much effort, the first recipe is halfway done. Thinking it might be a good idea to get farmer villagers for the cakes, I train up a few farmers in our temporary base, but I just have no luck. At least the smooth stone is easy enough. So now, it's time to search for some chimkins. Using the mini-map, I search various areas and eventually make one cake. It's slow, but it works, I guess. And after much chicken watching, our first crystal is complete. I am so excited for this. Wanting to make a few to start off with, I check the next recipe, and it's a lot less grindy than the first. Just missing one spiderweb and the diorite. Since I know for certain there are webs at the stronghold, we pop through into the nether, find an unhittable child. Please hold still. Please hold still. Please hold still. And then head to our end portal room and back to the library we found the last time. Probably smart to grab all of this just in case we need more in the future. I search around caves, finding strange crystals, mine shafts with more spiderwebs, including their creators, fight some mobs, and still, I just can't find diorite. But above ground proves more fruitful, and we finally have a good chunk of it. Should have emptied the inventory first, but we don't need much, and now we can get our second crystal. Nice. 3 would be nice though. More cakes. But a little bit of that grinding later, we have the third crystal. And we'll just put in the next one to see what the recipe is. Now it's time to prep. Back to the nether fortress we go, but with elytra it's super easy, and I head inside to get some nether wart for potion making. Luck also seems to be on my side today because... How? But we got what we need, so let's keep focused on the vault. Using the potions we found while in raiding, I brew up some splash potions of healing, as once in the vault, eating won't replenish my hearts. So I make sure to get a good little supply ready. Nearly good to go. Into the nether again quickly to grab some blackstone for a portal, and then over to our base to set it up. This is why I made my platform here. Eventually, we'll decorate it, but for now, it's time to try our luck in the vaults. Oh, yes. Grabbing my first crystal and a few empty shulker boxes, I take a deep breath and open portal number 1. Well, I guess it wants to go easy on us to start off with. Our first chest is amazing. A power bar and a third with a skelly skull to add to the other 2, but I can tell I'm inexperienced as I wander through. We're going to have to learn our way around these things. In our next room, I find some interesting ores, and make sure to start keeping my inventory managed. The loot is exciting to me so far. Finding potions and golden apples seems valuable, and the rooms are really quite interesting. Room 3 is a good reminder that I forgot to put respiration on my diamond helmet, so we quickly decide to skip this one. A 4th room provides us with some amazing loot. Glass crystals housing rare ores and ancient debris, and thankfully, with this vault being easy, the mobs are taken care of with ease. So I continue to explore with the goal of getting my head around the layout of these places and what I should be searching for while I'm here. Our next room is nice and open with chests everywhere and an obelisk in the center, but we get our first taste of traps. Poison sucks, and the fact that we don't regenerate health is tricky. More lucky loot and ores quickly teach me that inventory management is the most important skill inside a vault. Being able to sort and store things with mobs at all sides will require a little bit of practice. Ooh, and our first vault cookie too. The time though passes so quickly. Moving underground, it's soon obvious that the biggest time wasters are the mobs themselves, as they make looting really hard. So, grabbing what I can, I run for the next room. Some more crystals filled with goodies, and we find some interesting ores inside. The zombie hordes are taking up time though. Rushing around more crystals, I grab what I can and move on. Finding the water room from earlier, we pass into a bee room. With hives and honey all around, I search for as many chests as I can, as the time keeps ticking. Oh god, move bottle. Please. I can't remember where I am, and I'm beginning to panic as the timer is running out. I'm not in the right room. 30 seconds to go and the pressure is mounting. Please. Oh, thank goodness. There it is. I rush through with 10 seconds to spare. I wasn't really worried about it, honestly. Nah, not really. And so, our first vault was a success. Mystery boxes provide some random drops, and we managed to find a vault diamond too. I think we did pretty good. A singular vault cookie won't get us to level 1, but it's still something. And a couple of vault statues is also nice. After a little bit of sorting, not bad. I kind of want to go again. So for the second vault, we leave behind our axe and shovel to save some inventory space and grab crystal number 2. It might also be good to take these bars we found in the first vault. Oh, wait, and respiration of course. Much better. Okay, another deep breath and we're going in. Vault number 2. Healing and safe zone are amazing, even if we have to deal with more mobs. Straight away we come into a hive room, like we found in our first vault, and I get to looting again. Knowing I will heal in this vault gives me confidence, and the mobs are still dying quite easily. These compressed blocks are also worth grabbing. Moving on to the next room, we're immediately surrounded by mobs, and what seems to be a giant tree. Going up inside, I quickly realize how amazing this room is. There are chests everywhere in this canopy. After a very successful loot run, it's on to the next room. We're having amazing luck so far, and as long as we can handle the mobs, we should be fine. We find some more interesting ores, and add to our ancient debris supply. Honestly, healing may be the most amazing modifier for a vault possible, keeping us alive through poison and fighting. Ooh, a city room. Exploring these buildings gives us plenty of chests, and then we discover the sewers. Gilded chests everywhere, filled with so much incredible loot. So, more of these rooms please, especially when none of the chests can be trapped. Afterwards, I was looting above the sewers when I realized how little time I have remaining. I accidentally shoot a rocket from my bow, which slows me down, but thankfully we weren't too far from the portal. Another successful vault. So now that we're starting to build up a supply of vault loot, I make a double chest to store away the regular things that we'll find. Now, each time we come back successful, we'll have somewhere to add it to. Not bad. We've already gained a level from succeeding in the vaults, but with these 9 cookies, we managed to gain 2 more. So I take a level in speed to help us get around a bit faster, check my mystery crates to see if there's anything special, and have no luck with the relic booster packs. Saving the remaining 3 points until I know what I want to use them on, it's time for our third crystal. These vault runs are incredibly addictive, and I want more loot. Probably should clear my inventory first though. Alright. Ooh, interesting. The gilded modifier means more gilded chests, which hopefully will balance out the unlucky modifier, and the strong is always going to be good. Let's see how we go. Straight away we find ourselves in a village, and I begin searching around, although our first gilded chest is trapped. Still, we have time, but I don't seem to realize that I should have explored below these rooms. Whoops. The next room presents us with a strange door that appears to have loot on the other side, but I have no way of breaking through. So this must be for later in the mod pack. There are obviously many things that I will need to learn over time as I continue this Vault Hunter journey. For now, looting and gaining levels is a good goal. Halfway through our third run, I find an interesting idol. Killing mobs in its radius seems to fill the container, so I lure some zombies over, and this chest has some amazing stuff. We'll definitely need to keep an eye out for more of these. These early vaults, it becomes obvious that learning which rooms provide the most value and what to look for is important. Efficient use of the 25 minutes you're given will make all the difference. I test my luck in an abandoned mineshaft room, but I don't find much of value, and now the time is running out once again. So I should probably try and make my way back. Remembering your way within the vaults can be difficult, and it's easy to get lost, but thankfully these first vaults are quite small, and I make it back to the first room with little trouble. A swarm of mobs makes me break away for a hallway, and I run through to check for loot with the time that remains. Destiny reminds me it's probably not a good idea with a mob trap, so I rush back past them all and make it out safely once more. 3 successes in a row. Now I'm beginning to understand the draw of this. The loot, level up, unlock new abilities and repeat, all allowing me to get faster, mine more, or experience the game like I never have. So off to make the next crystal I go. The biggest difficulty with this one is the turtle eggs, but eventually I find a small beach of them, grab a few, and mark the spot for later just in case. The rest is pretty easy to come by. God, I love Vein Miner. And with that, we grab our 4th crystal and prepare for the next, which thankfully isn't too difficult a recipe. Let's do another vault. With another successful vault complete, I get to organising some of the loot. We have a lot of statues now and some vendors to use. Ooh, and we hit level 5. Since we have multiple vendors to trade with, I make some vending machines to store them in. At first, not realising there were 2 kinds, I made one for Stress Monster and got an incredible trade of vault crystals for very cheap, before crafting the second kind of machine that can hold multiple vendors and putting all the rest inside. We'll have to find more, but for now, 4 crystals from Stress is a wonderful deal. Next, having seen Iskall do this in his series, I set up a handful of chests to give our statues something to deposit their items into. But it's starting to reach the point where storage is getting out of hand. Blocks and items everywhere. It's probably time to get started on a storage room. Behind the vault altar seems a good spot for initial storage of blocks, until such time as we unlock some storage mods. Plus, it's nice to do some building between the vaults. We'll do a lot more of this as the series goes on. With some of the storage complete, the temptation of these vaults goes again. And here, a mistake is made. I forgot to put my chest plate on. Luckily, this vault does have an easy modifier, but in the first room, I realised my mistake. Not wanting to bail though, I decided to use the elytra to my advantage for traversal and continue on. Looting and fighting my way through carefully, making sure to keep my health high with hardy apples. But this false sense of security would end up being my downfall. I was confident, foolishly so, the easy modifier making me feel strong against the enemies, and some part of me was confident, again, foolishly so. I had the power-ups, I could take on the boss, and I could just run if I had to. The elytra would make escape easy. Very quickly, my health plummeted. The boss could teleport, and I was not ready. Consuming what I could to survive, I began to run. 2 hearts, I was no match. We lost it all. All the gear I'd built up, the loot, all of it. Diamond gear, levels, farming, searching through everything I'd gathered up to this point, using the villages I had available. And after much grind work, I managed to scrounge together another set of gear, and now I want redemption. I decide to upgrade my armor a little, using the ancient debris we have available from looting previous vaults. The chestplate and boots seem like good options for extra durability. I'm feeling much more confident now that I'll remember to wear my chestplate in, so once again, we fill up on healing potions, grab some spare shulkers and a handful of buff items, and this time we're going for the win. Not even wanting to risk putting on the elytra and forgetting again, I swim across to our portal, double check that I'm prepared, and head on inside. Ooh, not the best modifiers, but we can still have some luck, I'm sure. Unfortunately, straight away we start getting multiple trap chests. But this is a good room, and with a bit of luck, we can still make it out with plenty to help us moving forward. And we already found vault diamonds and a vendor. Oh, thanks for watching. See you next time.